Good morning. So, this video is going to be about how to truly move on from the past, how to truly uh, let go and move forward in your life, bringing all of your power back to your life, and from here, moving on instead of getting stuck in the past and recreating the same situations again and again and again. This was a video that I was asked to make. I have been writing down notes, so I am going to be looking at the notes as we go, and hopefully I can sum it up fairly short. So, how to truly move on from the past. Letting go of the past opens your future to new possibilities. So when you let go of the past, it opens up your future. And if you are continuously looking in the past, then you are depleting your life energy. You're not fully submerged into your life. You're not giving your full power to the forward thrust in your life. If you are looking backwards, it means that you still have lessons that you have not overcome. There are still things there. When your past starts to fall away, if it's people in the past, if it's situations, if it is jobs, romantic relationships, if those things begin to fall out of your life, there are reasons why they are falling out of your life. And it is in order to, what is not exact with you will naturally fall away from your life. And when you are able to see the reasons for that, the lessons are within those reasons. You see that it is off vibrational fit with you, and then you are able to release them. But until you get the lesson and understand what that situation has come to teach you, you will still be looking backwards and still holding on to that. And sometimes it's a matter, there's many different ways to get to the same outcome. And sometimes it's just a matter of understanding, if that fell out of my life, there's a reason for it, and moving on. And as your life opens up for you, the answers will come to you. All of a sudden, you'll remember something that happened that you hadn't let go of, and you will see the reasoning within the forward thrust of your life. So a lot of times it's just fake it till you make it. Just move forward, understanding that that fell away for a reason and being able to bring your power back. But as we understand why we keep on looking backwards, it's easier for us to let go of the past. And a lot of times it's always sits within our self-worth, because if we are completely understanding that we are divine beings and we are worthy, and are self-containers, and we give ourself the self-acceptance and understanding that we are worthy within ourselves, then the entire universe revolves around us. Our life is happening around us. Our life is not dependent on situations, people, others to make our life flourish. So we are self-contained within that understanding that we are worthy. So it always comes back to worthiness. So keeping that in mind. There is also the aspect of not being able to make decisions, right? We don't know where to go. We're afraid to make a decision and in concrete and move forward on that, because we're afraid of what is the word? There's a word for this, a perfect word for this. We're afraid of when we uh, apply ourselves, or when we surrender into something, or when it's like in a relationship. There's a perfect word for this: when we allow ourselves to completely um, see, maybe that's my fear, and I'm not even being able to think of the word. Uh, I'm going to continue on. When it comes, it comes. So there are many different ways to do this. You must change your beliefs and your automatic behaviors. So when you are moving forward, if something in the past fell away, it's something that you created within your life that is not a vibrational match with you, or some kind of lesson that you needed in your life, and that already passed. You've already received the lesson, or at least you've already potentially received the lesson. You've already gone through what you needed to go through in order to receive the message. Sometimes we don't get the message because we're not ready for it. Um, but there are so many different ways to get the messages. But we must learn how to change our own belief systems, and our actions, our automatic behaviors will fall in tow. Because if we continue to think the same way, we continue to react the same way, we are going to continuously create the same situations and the same people in different variations in our life. So our life will progress in time, but we will still be repeating the same mechanisms until we receive those messages, until we receive the lessons that we needed to receive for it. And because we will keep recreating the same outcomes in different variations. Um, when you are looking at the past, which is energy already spent, you are depleting the energy of your forward thrust in life. So if you continuously look into the past, you are depleting your life energy. If you can't go forward if you're looking backwards. If you're looking backwards, your life stops. So as long as you are, let's say you get to a place in your life where there are two paths, and one of the paths closes for you and you take the other path. Sometimes you close the path, and sometimes it closes for you. Somebody separates from you. You get a divorce and it's not something that you wanted. You get fired from your job. Sometimes there are paths that are chosen for you. It's if they were out of alignment with you, and if you didn't move them out of your life, time will come and remove them from your life. And then there are, there's a fork in the road, and you have all these different options to choose from. You start moving into an option. This option is closed for you. But if you continuously look backward as what they're doing over there, what's happening on that timeline over there, you are depleting the energy from the timeline that you are on, and your life is not progressing. And then you start falling into that loop down here at the separation point, and you never fully bring yourself into your life. So you have to be able to bring that energy back to you and look straight forward. Forward thrust. When we wallow in the past, we give away our power. We blame, and what if, which is a different version of blame, both release me of responsibility and allow me an excuse. So if I am saying, oh, I don't have energy in my life because of something that happened in the past, it's me giving away my life energy. It's me giving away my life force. It's me saying that something external has power within my life. My life can't continue because of something external, which is always false, because we are divine beings and each of us are on our own human experience that nobody else can experience for us. So we are always in the driver's seat of our own life. Even if in the driver's seat we're giving the steering wheel to somebody else, it's still it still doesn't resolve us from our own responsibility within our own life. So it is our responsibility. Our life experience is our responsibility and no one else's, and no one else can define our life for us. We can take our power and put it on somebody else's plate, but typically that is going to be in a codependent relationship, because nobody else wants responsibility for your life and your happiness and um, and your existence, unless it feels for them like it's empowering them, which means that they have to reign over you to feel worthy within the world, which is also a weakness. So then it creates this codependency of two weak beings dependent on each other, then their happiness is also dependent on you when you can't even create your own happiness within you because your happiness is dependent on them. So then it creates this codependency that neither one of the parties is fully standing within their strength and fully being able to be a dependent, strong, full, divine being. Um, So if you are stuck in the past, this means that you still have not received the lessons in its entirety, which we already spoke of. It means that you already have all of the tools that you need to receive. If this other person or this other experience or whatever it is fell out of your life and you're still looking backwards, it means that you haven't received the lesson yet. Because once you receive the lesson, you become bored with it. Once you receive the lesson, it's not relevant to your life anymore. So it naturally falls away. And you naturally also have expanded beyond it. So it's not relevant to you anymore. So it's more painful to sit in a lesson that when you already received the lesson, there is no draw to that lesson anymore. You've already received it. You are already applying it within your life. So you're already able to move on. And it's not relevant to you anymore. And it's easier to move on in that way. And also, you come into this stronger place because you've received the lessons from that and you don't have to repeat those same lessons anymore, which opens up it expands your mind and expands your being and your emotions into the unknown rather than what is already known and what you have already risen above. So you have all these new tools in your toolbox to work with, and you're moving on into new things that will give you expansion, but also what is going on with my words? It will teach you, or there's a word here that's also perfect for it. They will enhance your life. They will expand you. They will, when you thrive for something or when something, there's a perfect word for it. Oh, well. If you're stuck in the past, this means that you still have not received the lesson in its entirety. You may hold on to the past because it is what you know. It is fear of the unknown. So some of us feel small and we're afraid of the unknown. We want to stay in that comfort zone. What we already know doesn't take us out of our comfort zone. We already know how to handle these situations. So we don't want to move on into explored territory or into the unknown because we're afraid of it. So sometimes it's that fear of missing out. So FOMO is a big one. What if this other person moves on without me and they have this extraordinary life that I'm missing out on? But that is also not trusting within yourself, not realizing in your full self, not realizing that the life that you create is in exact synchronicity with you, which means that the potential of the perfect life for you lies within you. And you're expecting somebody else to create the magnificent life for you is the same as expecting somebody else to make you happy. But you are the only one within you that knows exactly how you tick and what exactly does make you happy. So it is your responsibility to create that for yourself. And as you create that for yourself, others can come along with you if you allow them to, but it's your responsibility to create that forward motion within yourself. And fear of missing out is also fear of making decisions, and fear of taking responsibility for your own life and for your own happiness. And again, you are the only one that can create the absolute perfect life for yourself. You are the only one. Nobody outside of you can do that for you. And in addition, they can't physically do it for you. You are the only one in your body with you. You are the only one. and you are of perfection, and you have the power that any other human being on this planet has, other than if for some reason you are locked away somewhere. You have the power for change, and you certainly have the power over your own mind and how you perceive things to be. And as you perceive them, the physical world will follow. So if you perceive that you are in the perfect life and you continuously perceive it, sometimes it takes the physical. The physical is like the lowest vibration, right? So you are going into this higher existence. We're in the energetic field of creation. Then we create the emotion, the energy, the vibration of what it is that we are perceive, what we want in our external world, which always is connected to an emotion, right? Whatever we want in the external world is we want the feeling of that, what it's going to give us. So if we can find the feeling of that, the physical world will follow in tow. And then all of a sudden you'll start seeing in your physical world all around you the things, the keys to that emotion. They are all around you right now in your existence. You don't need to. And slowly you will begin to manifest more and more and more and more of that. It can't be different. If you hold that emotion, then the physical world will follow. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer for the physical world to follow. So this is why forward power in your life is so important, because that forward power is what is going to bring change in the physical world. If you are stuck in the past with your face backwards, you are continuously looking at spent energy. You are continuously looking at things that were already created in your reality. You're continuously looking into spent energy. So it slows down your life experience. You're continuously experiencing what was already. So you're staying in the loop of things already created, emotions already creating. You are strengthening that loop, because the physical world has a way of defining things for you. If you are looking solely at the physical world, then you are looking at the evidence of whatever was created. And when you have the evidence, it continues to wash your mind. This is what is in existence. This is what is possible for me. This is what is in existence. This is what is possible for me. Whereas when you go into your mind's eye, your third eye, you can imagine and continuously look into that place of imagination, which is like a portal into this other realm of everything that still hasn't come into manifestation. And you can imagine it into manifestation. You can imagine it into existence. You can imagine it and feel it into this physical world. So become curious. Look for the unknown. So if you want new things in your experience, you have to become curious. You have to start watching. You have to watch for opportunities to open up for you. You have to be aware that there is far more unknown than known. So if you're continuously looking at what's already known, you're regurgitating your life. You keep on reliving the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. When you are able to open up your life and say, okay, show me the unknown, then and even it's as much as saying, okay, show me the unknown. Waking up in the morning and say, thank you for seeing new things that I've never seen before. And it will enrich your life experience. Be open. Something comes into you, presents you with an opportunity. Become the yes man. Yes, let's go see what that is. And emotionally, you'll be able to feel, I do want, I don't want, but at least you are broadening your life experience and you're able to see, okay, this yes, this no, this yes. You're learning yourself better from within. You're starting to understand yourself better, and you see that you quit being closed into little boxes of what is possible for you. All of a sudden, you realize that there are infinite possibilities that are available for you in every single moment. Um, Okay. The past is only relevant if you make it relevant. So, I mean, that speaks for itself. The past is only relevant if you make it relevant. The past is our teacher. The past is what gives us knowledge and experience for our forward thrust into our life. The future is more exciting than the past, for sure. Your future is more exciting than the past. What you have already lived, you've already lived. You already have that in your pocket. You've already have that life experience. But what is in the future is still unknown, so it's still unexplored territory. You still have your future. Become curious about it. The future is far more exciting than the past because it's going to move you. It's going to change you. It's going to teach you. And un it holds infinite possibilities for you. It holds choice. It holds your own self-expansion. It holds knowing of yourself. So the future is always more exciting than the past. Holding on to the past means that you do not believe that better than that is available to you or for you. So if you're holding on to the past, it means that you don't believe there's a belief here. You don't believe that something better is open for you or that there are better options for you. And it's kind of sad because when you're holding on to the past, something that fell out of your life that is obviously not in alignment with you, otherwise it would have stayed in your life, right? What's in alignment with you stays in your life until you're not aligned with it anymore. So if something fell out of your past, something fell out in the past, it means that it's not in alignment with you. That means that you need to let it go. It's not for you, and you need to trust that there are things in the future there are other things that you are moving towards, that leaving this behind makes room for, that are more aligned with you, that will bring you more happiness. The more you're able to align with your internal self, the more you believe in yourself, the more you see yourself as divine, the more you understand that the more you exact yourself to your true nature, to your true vibration, to who you truly are, to the divine light, to the one consciousness, then the more things that are aligned with you will come into your life. You don't need to attach to things from the past that are not in alignment with who you are. If they fell out, they're not in alignment. It's as simple as that. There is a reason why they fell out. So align with your internal self first, become curious, start putting your own power into your own life, into some kind of forward thrust, start building your dreams, start doing what excites you. Start moving towards things that you want in your life, even if you can't find that excitement. You know, there are things that start moving towards your talents. Start allowing your talents to get some airtime in your life. Start putting those on the front of your experience. So holding on to the past means that you're not truly standing up within yourself. You're not trusting in yourself, because if you're holding on to things that fell out, you're holding on to things that are not aligned with you, which means that you don't truly respect or understand yourself yet. So give up the need for others to understand or to approve. And that goes without saying. Give up. You are the only individual within your body, within your avatar. You're the only one that knows exactly what you have gone through in order to arrive at this place. You are an individual, divine, only one that ever has existed, only one that can exist. Other people can understand you to an extent, but unless they are you, they cannot understand you completely to the entirety of your being. So to expect them to is expecting something that is unrealistic. You are the only one that can truly give to yourself what you need in order to thrive in this life. So you do not, it's nice to have understanding and approval from other people, especially if they're close to you, and especially if they're your life partner, because a life partner is chosen. But you do not need others to understand and to approve who you are when you are able to understand and approve yourself. Um, so you must be willing to let go of the past in order to allow the new to come in. You have to leave space for new to come in. Self-forgiveness, knowing that you did the best that you can and truly forgive yourself. This was something that my father added in because I told him I was going to make a video like this, and I asked him if he had any advice for whoever is watching, and he self-forgiveness. Being able to forgive yourself in those past situations, learn from them and forgive yourself completely, understanding that you did the best that you can in any given situation. Even if you feel like the best that you could have done better, you couldn't have or you would have. So just completely forgive yourself, let go. There is no use in holding on to that unless you didn't get the lesson. Once you get the lesson, then you take responsibility and you say, okay, I'm never going to repeat that. I'm not, if I see something that I did in the past that had that I'm not proud of, that makes me feel ashamed, which is shame. Being ashamed is a very, very low vibration. But if I'm ashamed of something that I did, I can stand up and learn from it and take responsibility and say, I'm never going to do that again. I don't want to feel that shame. And then once you take that responsibility, apologize if need apologizing. It's up to you. But mainly, we need to apologize to ourselves for doing that and stand up in the future and say, I'm never going to repeat that. Thank God that I went through that so that I could overcome that, so that I could see what it feels like to behave in that way, and so that I can completely take responsibility and overcome the place that I wasn't in my divinity. So, self forgiveness is very important. You can never return to the past to change it. We can only take lessons and move forward. The closer, and that was also from my father. This is also from my father. The closer you stand to the light, the shorter your shadow. And if you should manage to stand directly in the light, then you will have no shadow at all. So it means the closer that you come into that one consciousness, into the light, and you allow every aspect of yourself to be completely open and front forward, then you don't cast shadow and you have no shadow. If you are completely honest in every moment, you are not hiding from yourself. You are open to learning. You are open to taking responsibility for yourself. You are allowing yourself to fully come forth. And there's power in that. And letting go takes time. So sometimes it just takes some time because when we are letting go of the past, we have to adjust and we have to go through ourselves and work through all those emotions. And sometimes working through those emotions takes time because we need to go through experiences that will shine light and help us receive those lessons and help us let go. Part of the human experience, part of this divine experience is that attachment, is that fully immersing ourselves into, let's say, if it's a relationship, then we completely devote ourselves to the relationships. And that was one of the words that I was looking for, was when we move forward, we have to devote ourselves and apply ourselves to that forward movement. Um, and we can devote ourselves into when we devote ourselves into a relationship and we completely submerge ourselves with complete trust and faith, and that falls apart. First of all, there's a massive lesson in that because we learn to be self-efficient, and we learn a lesson in absoluteness, that change is absolute. Um, but it also takes time for us to heal from that place. It also takes time for us to self-realize in that place. So sometimes it just takes time, and to be forgiving with ourselves and be easy with ourselves and be loving of ourselves, and do the best that we can and take baby steps and keep your face forward. Know that you are defined. Know that your future uh, um, holds magic for you. So holding on to what you already know because of fear. So that was because we're afraid to go forward. So sometimes we hold on to the past because we already know that, but we already covered that. Fear in moving forward because you don't know where to go because you are fear to commit. So A lot of times there's a lot of different options for us, and we don't have that full um, uh, uh, feeling of commitment to one, because if we commit to one thing, then the other options fall off the table. But we do have to keep some kind of forward movement. So when we do are able to commit to something and able to move forward in it, but keep ourselves flexible, we are able to we begin to open doors in our future. And as we open doors, let's say we open one door, there's another 10 doors. And then we will see that once we start moving forward in a certain direction, it will open opportunities that we could not have seen before we opened the first door. So sometimes it's just taking a leap of faith. Start moving in one direction, create movement in your life, and know what emotion you are trying to create, and then slowly you will be guided to whatever is closest to that um, emotion. So fear of moving forward because you don't know where to go, because of fear of commitment, fear of missing out, fear of I can't read that even, fear of responsibility of poor decisions. Everything is divine and happens for a reason. So you are able to let go of the past when you understand that everything is divine and this has happened for a reason. It's come to teach you something. It has come to progress your life in some way. So there are no mistakes. So if it fell away, it is for your higher good. Trust, trust that it is for your higher good. And if it fell away, it is not a good match for you in your life or in this place that you are at in your life. Fear of self and fear of feeling unworthy and incapable. So when we're afraid that we don't know what to do, we're incapable of creating movement in our life, then we have fear of expansion. We have fear of going forward. The future is more exciting than the past. Past energy already spent. What is the lesson? If you are stuck in the past, there's still a lesson there. Okay. So if you're stuck in the past, there's still a lesson there. What is that lesson? Start looking for the lesson. Start understanding that there's a lesson there, and you have if it fell out of your life and you're still looking backwards, it means that you haven't gotten the lesson yet, but you have all the pieces of the puzzle in order to get that lesson. There's something that you're holding on to because of some kind of unworthiness, feeling of unworthiness, or fear of the future, or fear that the best is behind you. So give up the need for another to understand. Give up the need for another for the approval or okay of another. And with that, I have come to the end of all of the notes that I've made up for this. So sending you guys so much love. Thank you for watching. I hope that this was helpful.